Hi guys, Jen Wilson here. How you doing? Happy Monday. Happy New Year. Yeah, I know it's the 19th, but it's the first post I've done since the New Year, so it counts. Anyways, as you can see, I'm in my pajamas. I am starting a post called Morning Coffee, which may or may not actually be in the morning, I'll be honest. Sometimes I get up between 8 and 10, sometimes I don't get up till noon. It just depends. That's part of what the changes have been with me. I changed jobs. I decided that if I'm going to spend more time focusing on getting my blog going and getting back into performing, I needed to not work 60 hours a week. So I quit my job in management and went back to serving and bartending, which is terrifying, but every single day I think I'm reminded that I made the right move. I'm working right now at a great restaurant, great management, making the money's good. It'll get better as I learn more. So, but right now, it doesn't suck. So we're good. That's really been the biggest change with me. But I'll admit that since I've had time, I've just been kind of enjoying it because for the past 3 years, I've been in management. First, I was a banquet manager and I loved it. But especially during wedding season, it was ridiculous. I mean, I remember weeks I was working 70 and 80-hour weeks, and I loved it when I was there, but I had no life beyond that. Now I'm kind of trying to remember what it's like to have a life. It's nice, like going to lunch with people and stuff. But now it's time to get my shit together. That was my biggest resolution this year. Okay, let's be honest, it's my resolution every year. And then I laugh. Yeah, maybe this year it'll work, but you never know. But at least as far as getting the blog together, I'm getting my shit together. So, I've noticed one thing now that I've got a little bit more time and I can sleep more, I will wake up really early in the morning because I'm used to that, waking up at 6 or 7 because I would have to be at work at 8 or 10, whatever. And then remember, hey, I don't have to be at work till 3 or 4, maybe 5. So I go back to sleep, and I have been having the most incredible dreams lately. They've started to get a little creepy because I'm realizing that I have the subconscious of a frickin' sadist. And when I go for a long time without doing a post or writing, I have dreams about spiders. And I looked it up, which probably reinforced it in my head. I looked it up, and apparently dreams about spiders have to do with weaving the web and storytelling and writing. It's not uncommon. But still, the presentation could use some work. Let's see, it was day before yesterday. I had a dream, and it started off so nice. We were camping, and we're getting some wood for the campfire. And I'm going to adjust this just a bit. I feel like I'm just like a floating head. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're getting wood for the campfire. And I go to these trees. There's a pile of wood under this tree, and me and another girl were getting wood. And all of a sudden, it was almost like a weeping willow style. All these spiders came down, and they're making all these webs just coming down around us. And we're looking around. We're trying to find a way. We're ducking around trying to find a place where the spiders weren't making their webs down. There's just spiders all over the webs. And we realized we were going to have to just bust through the webs. And y'all know that horrible feeling when you walk through a web and you don't expect it. That, oh, God, feeling. And we knew we were going to have to do it on purpose. And I remember we both just looked at each other. We closed our eyes. We burst through it. We could feel them running on us. And we could feel that sort of horrible silk pulling feeling of running through the web. Oh, God, it was awful. So, hence I'm doing this to maybe not do that again. Subconscious. Really? So, anyways, beyond that sucky dream, and I had another crazy dream this morning. It was gross. It was weird. I dreamt that I was taking over running an apartment building with all these elderly people in it, but the management that was there never moved out, like former residents who had died in their rooms. So these poor old people had to be living in an apartment with these dead people. But it wasn't even like the bodies had decayed at all. Like I walked in and it's weird because it sort of showed me how much Spanish I've learned over the years. I had to ask this lady in Spanish if there were any dead people in her apartment, and she just kind of smiled and said, "Well, see," she just pointed. I don't know the word for kitchen, but I looked in there and there was this sort of dried, mummified person in a dress, woman in a dress. And I got really upset, and she was like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And she said, you can take her, you can take her. But I remember trying to pick her up, and she was super light. So I just sort of picked her up, and she felt like crepe paper. And carrying her like this down the stairs. And then I found a frog that had apparently died and somehow reanimated and kept trying to bite my foot. I kept throwing it to the side, throwing it and come back. And, just a little frog mouth was on my foot. What? Anyways, I did eat crap food yesterday, so maybe that has something to do with it. But anyways, the craziest dream I had was last week. I had this dream about alien invasions, but it was really kind of a cool one, which I'm going to talk to a friend of mine who does cartoon illustrations and see if maybe he can do some drawings of it. Because it was very visual for me, and I think y'all should see it. But I'll try to describe it here. Okay, so it starts off that I'm seeing these people working. I'm standing behind them, and they're working, and in front of us is this bank of windows. And we're looking out over a city, and there's all these clouds and blue skies, and we're way up high. And all of a sudden, there's an announcement that I can't really hear, but I hear the voice announcing something. And everybody just stops what they're doing and walks out, and the windows sort of disappear, and they're walking out, and they're sort of walking on thin air outside the building. And I walk out, and I'm looking around like, how are they doing this? What's going on here? And all of a sudden, there's sort of like a flashing. You know, if you've seen in those movies where somebody's in a hologram and the hologram starts to fail. And I start to see that actually they're walking towards these escalators. And it starts to fail. I realize that we're just in this big, dreary building. And they're just taking these escalators up, and I realize that we're working for this higher intelligence alien presence that is creating these holograms so we don't feel so depressed about just working in these sucky buildings. But this, and I'm not entirely sure if it's the same alien presence, really doesn't matter, but they are wanting to take over everything. All of a sudden I flash to an amphitheater. In my mind, it's Deer Creek up in Noblesville, but it's been taken over as a resistance. What am I trying to say? It's our, where we've set up camp as a resistance, and we've got guards around it and everything like that. And I go with a friend of mine that I used to bartend with, Brian. Hi, Brian. And we have to go to the city to scavenge for food. And as we're walking into the city, we see these two people, and we see this big actual alien, and it's one of the ones that's like tall and super skinny, and the arms are woo. So we hide because we figure it's probably not a good thing. And as we look, we're hiding behind a dumpster, and we look, and we see that he kind of comes up behind one of the guys and just sort of like sucks into the back of their head, just goes and sort of takes over the guy's body. And you can tell because the guy's eyes turn black, because that's the easiest way to show possession. Note to any aliens, whatever, good idea. So we can tell who's who. But so all of a sudden that guy turns and kills his friend, and I realize what's going on is the aliens are taking over human bodies and using them to kill anybody in the resistance. So we hide, and then they walk by, and we run to a warehouse to hide, and we realize there's a couple other actual humans hiding in the warehouse. And there's one guy that I see him hiding there, like his pants are ripped and they keep catching on something. So he goes around the corner, and he's trying to either get it, like tuck it into his socks, or, get something to, rip it off or something. And at that point, I can see, I'm still way over here, but it's one of those where you're in your body, but you're also watching everything. And I see two people walking up on him. And, I want to do that, turn around, but I can't. And then I flash back to me, and I realize as I'm focused on him, somebody has snuck up on me. And I'm like, okay, I turn around, and I can still see him, and he's wearing a purple shirt, like a purple polo, I don't know, got dark hair, and his eyes are black, and he's coming after me. And I look, and the only thing I can see, there's just boxes and crates and stuff everywhere. There's like a serving platter, and I just grab it, and I smash it on a box, and it breaks in half. And I'm trying to use the sharp edge to sort of cut it. I'm swinging at him, and he's laughing, and he's ducking away from me. And he steps up, and all of a sudden, this is gross, like something comes from the back of his head to the front, like slicing the top of his head off. And then he goes down. There's blood everywhere. I'm like, whoa. And then the other two people that had snuck up on the guy around the corner, I don't know where the guy in the corner went. Maybe he got away. But the other two people come around the corner on them, And I realize as they go down, behind them are standing these robots. And they are from another alien civilization that's trying to help us. And they're tall. Hey. Sorry, that's Lincoln. He's bored with me. He wants to go out. But, so they're standing and they've got like these aliens, like the top of their little robot heads slides out, and they're using, they sneak up behind him and they shoot that out, and they're basically slicing the top of the aliens' heads off, which is pretty freaking clever, honestly. So they're going around doing that, and they're killing all the alien possessed people, and they're, yay, we're fighting. And I remember, like, the last thing I remember seeing is this poor little this alien robot, and he reminded me of Dobby from Harry Potter, and he's gray and orange, and he's just sort of walking dejectedly, and I can remember thinking, the poor guy, because he was a nanny robot, and he was supposed to be helping kids, and here he was helping kill people, and, he's like, I remember I just patted him on the shoulder, like, it'll be okay, little guy, and, that's it. That's the end of that. I'm not real sure where that came from. I think it's because I was drinking Bloody Marys the night before. That Zing Zang, it's got some spice to it. I'm wondering if that's what, like, kicked in the dreams, so, I don't know, but remains to be seen how this is going to go. But, I'm getting a lot of inspiration, definitely, from being able to sleep more and dream more, and I think that's creating, and that's another thing, when I was managing, if I felt kind of sad because I felt like my creativity was not there, because I was so tired, and I was always, get up and you have to focus, obviously, on work, and I don't know, it just wasn't working. I love the people, and I learned a lot from them, but yeah, I'm happier where I am. So how was your new year? What changes have you made? Let me know. And I guess I should have thought better about how to finish this, but I hope you all are having a good year so far. There's that. And I will attempt to post more. They will either be probably late night or morning coffee, which may be at 10 or maybe at 2:25. Okay, I've been awake longer than that. I just didn't get the coffee yet. Okay, don't judge. So, I hope y'all have a great day and a great week. And I'll see you soon. Bye.